Two great runners kind of up and coming here. PB wise, right there in that middle seven. We've seen a lot of guys really have, especially this year, really made that jump from those high seven, mid seven times. And, they're almost, we got some folks dropping sub sixes here and pretty early on in their history running the game. So should see some good ones out of these guys.
Yeah, even I've put in a little work and gotten to a 744, as we saw here in the tournament the other night. But enough about me, enough grandstanding and hot dogging. We are underway, and we are in Arena 1, and both runners having a little bit of trouble. JohnnyLink able to utilize that Razor Shield, and a slight lead, though, for JohnnyLink, but maybe a couple of seconds at most.
Yeah, Johnny kind of able to just kind of hold the middle, just kind of gun down the areas. GoGo kind of just ran his Razor into those crowds, so his actually melted pretty quick there. Not too bad, but get the orb on GoGo's side. Good start.
Yeah, Razor Shield on JohnnyLink's side, so certainly some great drops. Not much to follow up with, though. And there's an orb on JohnnyLink's side, and Spreader now for GoGoZombie. That orb important as it doubles your firepower, so you want to avoid the enemies. Oh, we got shrapnel down, did GoGoZombie.
Just didn't quite see that guy right there, kind of tucked in the lower left. They just stop, and all of a sudden, yeah, you just get that little crossfire. Unfortunate loss there for GoGo. Let's see if they could pick up a orb going in to eat my shrapnel here.
Meanwhile, JohnnyLink about a 129 heading into Eat My Shrapnel. 18 shrapnel. They're those little overall slow-moving individuals that you see on the edges of the doors. And the rich just getting richer here for JohnnyLink. Getting a couple of rockets, now a spreader as well. GoGo looking to go for that nuke. If the room's a little out of control, it's not too bad, but that does stop those shrapnel from swarming. Only 4 of them can be on the screen at a time. So, causing that little elimination, I believe it costs about a half second of time, and just like that, JohnnyLink is into total carnage. Loses the orb.
Ooh. Yeah, that's always going to be a tricky one. Starting out this room, even when you have the orb, if you're a little too high, a little too low on the door, that could be an issue. And if you move before you really clear out that circle around you, you could just immediately lose that orb. And that puts them both in the same situation right now, orbless and trying to survive.
Well, invulnerabilities, they're good for just kind of running over the enemies. There's an orb for JohnnyLink. And a rather out-of-the-way spreader, and is not going to bother with it. GoGo, meanwhile, getting a spreader in the middle of the room. Nice dodge there of that shrapnel to the northeast. But JohnnyLink doing a great job of getting control of the room. GoGo finally getting an orb. A little late in the room, though. Now, here's some rockets as well to help.
I think the main thing right here for GoGo did get that late orb. Just keep maintaining right there. Keep hosing it down. Hopefully you don't run into the dreaded kind of swirl of shame there for sitting in Carnage a little too long. Doing pretty well. Cleans it up. And will be a little bit behind entering the bonus at about 337.
So slight advantage to JohnnyLink. Both racers do have their orbs intact. And that gives us a brief moment for some Taco Bell product placement with Taco Bell. And just like that, JohnnyLink out of the room and into tank trouble. Invulnerability to start, not what you want to see, as this is going to be the highest spawn rate amongst the enemies here, and a foot as well. So with a decent drop, well, a spreader will certainly help. This will clear out the room a little bit and hopefully be able to get GoGo to take out those gunners. Does take out one of them. Oh, but runs into the mine.
Yeah. I mean, as you mentioned, these early drops in this room really determine how successful you're going to be. Really didn't work out for JohnnyLink early, but has kept the orb healthy right as I say it. And then the Razor Shield there coming up does give rockets. So yeah, definitely, Johnny doing good work, getting it cleared out, holding the center. But GoGo doing the same with rockets on this side.
Had some rockets, able to clear out with a nuke. Now utilizes the spreaders. Here's another set of rockets, going to go right for it here. As you can see, they just mow in a straight line through him. More rockets now for GoGo. Meanwhile, JohnnyLink about a 455 into Mutoid Man. But right behind him at a 504, so it's a 9-second difference. That's pretty much one empty drop away. Spreaders to start off with for JohnnyLink, and is going to try to get a little manual damage. Was a little low on it with the positioning. Meanwhile, just emptying the rocket clip and getting some others, able to take out the gunners.
Yeah, definitely a strategy from Johnny right there that we've talked about. If you get that early spreader and Mutoid is still moving down the screen in this initial movement, you'll have a few seconds there of some nice no vibration kind of damage hits that you see from Mutoid. But after those few seconds, he starts right in and he immediately just kind of wiggled left and gets Johnny pretty quick there, unfortunately.
Well, now we have the one arm popped off on GoGo's side. JohnnyLink popping off that one arm as well. Now, with your regular shooter not able to do damage to Mutoid Man, so you need some sort of a weapon, whether it's grenades, whether it's rockets, whether it's the lobbers that you see here as the second arm now coming off, or ideally you want the spreader because that provides the most damage. And GoGo utilizing a couple of shots, going to try to manual here, gets run over. Will he have enough time to get to the lobber? Does so. Meanwhile, an empty drop for JohnnyLink. Chest popped open on GoGo's side.
Yeah, GoGo, before that spreader, unfortunate little manual death there, it's doing really, really nicely with the lobbers. Lobbers being pretty much your second best weapon in this fight. You hit that upper chest area, that brown patch that was formerly there. Now, you can't see it on either player's side. You hit that, and you're doing some real nice damage. We got final form on GoGo's side. Johnny can't be too far behind.
And GoGo seeing the spreader probably could have taken a death for it, and that would have been immensely helpful. But nonetheless, things looking fairly okay for the moment. Now final form for JohnnyLink.
Ooh.
And GoGo is going to take it and get a PB in the process.
Yeah, this is going to be a nice little improvement over here from a 745. We're looking at a 720-something here. Very nice.
For a new PB of about 21 seconds. And you said it, those going from the high sevens into the mid sevens, low sevens, and even sub sevens. And we're seeing it right off the bat here. And the drops were just not kind to JohnnyLink here in Mutoid Man. Still waiting on a drop that was being sat on by... come on, Trolltoid. The race is already over. Just there we go.
Classic Mutoid giving the nice late spreader there when you really don't need it. It's actually probably the things you want to see the least of because you just weren't getting them when you needed them. Yet again, Mutoid doing what Mutoid does and making this a 1-0 for GoGo to start.
Yeah, the game was a lot closer than that time score intended, as the drops were just absolutely putrid for Johnny in Mutoid Man. Had a 9-second lead going into the room and ends up finishing with a... goodness, math. Never math in stream here. To answer the question in chat, on easy percent, the game does not go past Mutoid Man. If you select normal or hard percent, you do go through arenas 2 and 3.
So we'll start getting these guys set up here. They'll be doing their little bit of a manipulation here to get this Razor Shield to start. It's about the only thing we could really control in this game. So we make sure we do that as we start every one of these races up here. So shouldn't be too long. Interesting thing that I've kind of noted as I'm taking a look at the R2 players. JohnnyLink, I'm familiar with him from Mario 3 randomizer runs, and he does actually quite a lot of runs. He's run over 50 games, has world records and multiple of them. This is actually GoGoZombie's only recorded game for speedrunning that we see on speedrun.com. Could have a lot of repertoire beyond that, but very interesting to see that we kind of have a speedrunning vet right now against someone who, good old Smash TV found a great home for speedrunning and is knocking down the PBs here.
Most certainly, and that gave me time to do the math. And an 9-second lead for JohnnyLink heading into Mutoid Man turned into a 52-second deficit. So just goes to show, or I'm sorry, a 42-second deficit, a 51-second. It was all in my head, and then I lost it. Doggone it. Math is hard.
I'm about to get started here.
Unless you're LOZ Cards fan, this is true. That's why LOZ Cards fan is the lead commentator, and I just words and get eliminated quickly from the tournament. Now, a 44-second differential, so that ends up being a swing of 53 seconds. That's what I was trying to say. It just took me more attempts than I should have made at it.
You know, there's nothing but good runners in this field this year. Going 0-2, something that I know of doing from last year's tourney. Nothing that's, too surprising. There are so many good runners this year, and we're seeing two of them right here and improving still in Johnny and GoGo.
Most certainly. GoGo picking up the grenades here, trying to finish off the room, and is able to do so. Looks like there's about a 2.5-second differential. So it looks like out of the room, it's going to be 44 for GoGo and about a 46 for Johnny. So a 2-second lead for GoGo heading into collect power-ups.
Yeah, pretty nice. I mean, you really see, I don't think many runners would ever suggest grabbing grenades, but found like a big group of the swarmers there and just unloaded. Actually did a fairly good job clearing that area, and not too bad. Getting a spreader here. Both of our players, of course, looking for that orb early on.
And there it is on GoGo's side.
Just spoken into existence. You're welcome.
Commentators blessing there for sure. 132 out of collect power-ups into Eat My Shrapnel. Johnny is going to be about a 140, so an 8-second difference heading in. And it looks like GoGo did lose the orb along the way.
This is where it gets tough. We saw this actually in the last race here. GoGo started out a little rough and actually had 4 on the board, 4 shrapnel on the board for a bit. Might be running into that again, but using those grenades decently, getting the orb, he was in a tricky corner. That was tough.
So doing with what he has, GoGo now opting to leave the grenades alone, and that's the end of the room. 225 into total carnage. And 225 into total carnage for JohnnyLink. So the times are offset by a couple of seconds, but they're basically dead even here heading into total carnage.
And sitting nice and pretty with that orb, getting the razor shield. Johnny is getting really nicely set up to continue to hold this room down. As usual, you're trying to hold that center. You're trying to get things like rockets. Beautiful drops here for Johnny to really hold this. And then
fire for a little while and finally got clubbed down there. But some great movement leading up to that point. And now back-to-back spreaders here for GoGo. Where's that in Mutoid Man's room? Usually at the end.
Exactly, yeah. You don't find it when you want that, of course.
And back-to-back spreaders now for JohnnyLink, just obliterating the room here, and is going to be into the bonus room at a 323 clip.
I'd buy that for $1.
Say most times, yeah, definitely in a race, 323. That means you've probably not gotten all the drops, but you've definitely got the good ones. You've held it down, and unfortunately, GoGo seeing that swirl when you're just not getting the weapons, it all happened. We call it the swirl of shame. It's really the shame from the game because they just didn't want to give you anything.
Yeah, that appears when you've been in the room for, is it 60 or 62 seconds? I forget.
I just know it's too long. Anytime I've ever gone to Swirl, and it's like, yeah, that makes sense.
I'll defer to experts who are much better at this game to be able to correct me / educate me on that. Or re-educate me on that, I suppose.
Tank trouble.
Oh, no. A 1-up for GoGoZombie. A dude! Not what you want to see. And just gets clobbered by the Swarmers. That's going to clear up the room a little bit here. Give the GoGo a chance to take out that wall gunner. And does so. Get to the invulnerability. Yes. So invulnerability just kind of running over enemies. It's almost like a star in any of the Mario games. Just gives you a little bit of invincibility.
Yeah, and really sometimes in this room, it really starts getting out of control. Just being able to kind of plant yourself, keep yourself safe, not getting hit by the tanks with their gunners, that sort of thing. It gives you a little bit of a little reprieve from the chaos that is this room.
Well, now the clocks are synced up here, about a 5:11 into Mutoid Man for JohnnyLink. GoGo's still having trouble with the room. And I was hoping that was a well-timed clear, but nope, there's more junk coming.
Yeah, one of those deceptive things about this room is the enemies, how they spawn in, they will kind of layer, so you'll think you're clear, and then all of a sudden you just get that one more wave of spawn. Like, why are they even there? But you know, it's just one additional level of shenanigans this game throws at you.
Shenanigans. Let me get my broom. GoGo now into Mutoid Man as well, and not getting favorable drops, something you don't want to see when you're already about 20 seconds behind. JohnnyLink already popping off both arms, neither seeing a spreader, and GoGo looking for the next drop, and Mutoid Man is probably sitting on it like a mother hen. Yep.
Yeah, that's gonna just, you know, did what he could, taking out the gunners. Decides not to go in for a sacrifice right there to get the invulnerability, but getting some shots from the outside here, gets an arm strip. We're almost down to the final form though for Johnny. Really getting some nice shots here, getting some good lobbers in there, and good damage. And there we are, last form.
Yeah, I've noticed GoGoZombie doesn't seem to enjoy taking an intentional death when it comes to spreader. Would prefer to do the manual. And yeah, the drops are definitely favoring JohnnyLink here, and I think we're definitely going to have a PB on JohnnyLink's side as well.
You love to see it. These guys are coming out and working those times down. Who knows who's going to have the better PB by end of it? Because GoGo just beat Johnny's PB, and now Johnny just beat that. So we're just
7:15, I think, is because the hit was definitely a little bit late. I would say a 7:15, maybe a high 7:14 when they frame count it, but I will leave that again to the pure experts.
Johnny with the correction got a 7. Nice, 7 flat before the race. There you go. Well, coming in and getting a nice race time right there for all of us at a low 7 minute right there. Nicely done.
Okay, the submitted but yet to be reviewed, or maybe yet to be submitted, given that it was right before the race here. So 7 minutes flat, that would move Johnny up to 37th on the board at an even 7 minutes flat. Looks like about a 7:59 for GoGoZombie, but that is going to even this race at 1 apiece. We've got the predictions going in chat. Who will pull ahead in race 3? That's about a minute and a half to get your channel point predictions in. It's the closest thing to gambling, and if you're too much into it, gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
So here we go. Yeah, we got the 1-1. Given the what's on the line here, I mean it's the second elimination match we face. I guess this is kind of the opening weekend per se elimination match. Fraud, of course, opening us up kind of with the, what would that be, like the Hall of Fame game? That's how they open it up, you know, the weekday before, something like that.
Well, yeah, I mean, just because I was playing in that proverbial Hall of Fame game doesn't mean I'm anywhere close to there. But yeah, I guess they induct, they induct commentators in as well, I suppose. But yes, despite being eliminated by Lucha Jim, I just wanted to make sure that I had ample time to be able to commentate more of these matches. That's exactly what it is.
I mean, the pipes always appreciated over in the commentary booth here for on. Of course, getting that time down, you not too shabby now. Mid 7 minute, you'll be in that 6 minute club soon enough.
Well, there is that most improved thing. Now, is that most improved while you're still in the tournament, or do I have no chance to have an improved time given that I'm already eliminated? I'll leave that to Bryself, who is the administrator of all of this, the organizer of all of this. Oh, it's from opening to elimination? All right, so I'm dead in the water at this point. Got it.
And here we go. We should be getting game number 3 of this match started shortly. We'll see how they're able to figure out this first room. Typically, folks are going to be looking for something in the low 40s. You're getting in there in a 39 to the next room. You really did well. Seeing the aggressive movement for GoGo, it does have the potential to really get in there in under a sub 40 if things drop right. Grenades again, though.
There is a nuke, which might be a little late for Johnny to... Oh, maybe Johnny could have hit it to clear the room just a little bit faster. But in either case, it is Johnny just a split second ahead of GoGo here. But they're maybe about a second apart heading into collect power-ups. Opening drop is a nuke for JohnnyLink and a grenade for GoGoZombie. Neither of them ideal. Johnny going to leave that behind. There's some rockets. That's something you like to see. An invulnerability for GoGo, so the drops favoring JohnnyLink here in the early going, but there you
go. Right when you say it.
And that's what you like to see. You don't like to see RNG favoring one runner over the other, but GoGo gets shrapneled and loses the orb. Oh no. Get some rockets to make up for it though. But Johnny's going to be the first out of collect power-ups at about a 132.
Does get a replacement, or does GoGo though, with a little bit of rockets, so going to be able to start this room hopefully pretty decently. Looks like orb there on Johnny's side as well, so both these guys are going to be in pretty nice position to handle Eat My Shrapnel.
Yeah, just picking it up as the bonus was flashing there. And now rockets on GoGo's side to be able to mow down the room a little bit easier. And a spreader to follow. And GoGo's going to hang on to that. Not going to get the spreader. A little too close to the start of the room, and that's a good play.
I love the call from GoGo right there. There's so many times you have the orb, you're already set, you see a little item like that, but it's at the very bottom, and you can just have a shrapnel come from the bottom. You don't even see the orb go away. Unfortunately, you see the orb go away right there. That beginning circle again in Total Carnage. It's just a tricky one. You got to make sure you're clear. Gets the replacement, though. So setting pretty. Johnny needs to find that orb to get the little catch-up going.
Yeah, that double firepower does so much over the course of a race. The longer you can hang on to an orb, just the better your overall time will be. And you want to be able to get it and keep it. That is certainly the challenge.
Deciding not to go for the smart bomb, I think to be able to get back and establish center might have been a play for Johnny, but going for it, shrapnel, unfortunately, that's a tough angle. He just got there from the missiles, just picked up those rockets, and unfortunately, just the timing right there with the shrapnel right in his face.
GoGoZombie, meanwhile, is just in control of the room. 321 into the bonus prizes room. And JohnnyLink continuing to collect one-ups, and that is not what he wants to see. There's an orb. That's the game. Oh, an orb followed by a swirl of shame. Good job, game.
Yeah, one of those things. I mean, obviously.
When he loses it. Oh no!
Just trying to get out of that corner, trying to finish off this room, and unfortunately, just has that swarm spawn come in from the north door. Unfortunately, taking that orb. GoGo taking an early death here in good old tank trouble. Does get rockets though. Hopefully, gets reestablished in the center here. We'll see.
Back-to-back rockets certainly going to help with that. I think it was a 347 into the room, so this is going to be almost a 30-second lead heading into tank trouble. It is going to be a 31-second lead, actually, for GoGoZombie. So now the question is, can he hold that lead? Will the RNG continue to favor, or will tank trouble create trouble here for GoGo and bring this a little bit more even? But there's a nice time to nuke. Not the end of the room, though.
Not quite. Still just getting that extra, few spawns. Yeah, still a little bit more. Does get the orb. Hopefully be able to hold this into the end of the room. It has to still go to the corner. He's able to get it. Rockets there for Johnny. I don't think was able to grab those, unfortunately. Just too many swarmers on that side. And, some of these drops just not quite coming out for Johnny. Hopefully he's able to get out of tank trouble here with one or two better drops. There's the rockets.
Well, about a 454 heading into Mutoid Man. JohnnyLink using those rockets, trying to finish off this room.
Yeah, a lot of shoes end up on Johnny's side, unfortunately. So just going to be getting out of tank. Early lobs there for GoGo, but now, Mutoid just sitting on something. Who knows what it is? We have no idea. There we go. We got something.
So a 35-second lead heading into Mutoid Man for GoGoZombie. And there's a key! Another empty drop.
These empty drops, this is what's going to give Johnny an opportunity. You get one spread, just took the intentional, or maybe unintentional death there, but had the opportunity to get a spread. Unfortunately, more shoes for Johnny. Didn't see enough of those in tank trouble, apparently, so got to get more of them in Mutoid.
I think Johnny trying to hunt for some items here and sees the spreader, but I don't think is able to get to it here. Does get to it, but is going to have to manual.
Just needs to get a little bit higher on that manual. Pretty close. Does empty out the clip on it, so does get decent damage. Gets it to rockets. Going to try again, maybe for a manual here. Lobbers on GoGo's side, and he's just getting this down to the second last form here.
Johnny, take a death here. Thank you. Go get that.
Too late.
Too late. Oh!
Oh, that's one of those things. You get burned by that once, and you hesitate, and it's situations like that. Unfortunate for Johnny. GoGo getting some grenades, trying to get to that last form. Shoes for Johnny. The Nikes are coming out. This is not Payless. We need some more weapons here. No more shoes. Rockets on GoGo's side.
It doesn't got to be the shoes. There's a spreader, but it might be too late to get again. I don't... Oh! Just moving... No, just missing it.
Looks like there we go. Another nice little lobber there for GoGo to get that finish off. Second to last or third to last form here for Johnny. So he's able to get a little bit back into it with some weapons, but ultimately some brutal RNG there. Really the final two rooms here for Johnny.
This has just been abysmal. GoGoZombie going to take the race here, at least game 3 or game 3 of the best of 5 match. It's weird how they word all these various things. Or race 3 of the best of 5 match. Of course, a spreader when it's way too late. But GoGoZombie going to go up 2-1 here.
You know, it just at this point, I had the expectation of one of these guys getting a PB, so maybe a little bit of shame there, but still very nice there. Yeah, GoGo getting it. Johnny able to close out with a few lobbers there. You see a time like at 8:30, you just know that the game just threw you some curveballs like that. So on to the next one for Johnny. It's the way the cookie crumbles in this game. If Mutoid tank doesn't want to cooperate, it doesn't matter how good you are. Unless, you know, you're CHX or Bry or 40 or Leaf or something, you know, Dino. All the runners better than me. They could probably actually work their way out of it. Not me. I take my plus 8-minute runs with pride.
Well, as I say that, as I'm looking at my my splits, and my average segment time is, or my average segments in general is an 8:12. And yeah, Jackham is pointing out in chat, how about a race where they both get dropped, so that way it's not just a lopsided thing.
Typically, as it always is, the game giveth, the game taketh away, and it seems to be doing a little flip-flop on us. I suppose if we stick to form, we're going to be at 2-2 here going into game number 5, but we'll see how game number 4 shakes down.
Well, we can certainly hope. We love to see the best of 5s going a full 5.
Start getting these guys on the countdown soon here, and we'll be underway for game number 4. Get your predictions out there in the channel. Will JohnnyLink tie us up? GoGoZombie.
My vote in there, sure. I've been right so far. I'm up to like 23,000 points.
Good luck.
You know, I love to throw some money on the table myself, but I unfortunately usually come on the
I'm going to need you to take this here. I've got an IRL thing going on.
Absolutely, not a problem. Thrawn, get it taken care of. We are going to be underway here. Game number 4. Both of our runners, of course, executing that properly, getting the early Razor Shield. As kind of noted before, GoGo seems to really run this into doors, use that Razor Shield as a weapon. Johnny doing a little bit more of a consistent strat in holding center and kind of letting the enemies run into him instead of going after him. Both forms, as you can see, work out pretty well, and we are in a dead heat going into collect power-ups. That's what we like to see. Let's see these drops work out for these two guys. Orb to start for GoGo. That's what you like to see. Let's see what Johnny can get. Unfortunately, grenades on the feet. That is like the exact opposite. But gets a spread, can start making this work. GoGo is seeing a couple nukes there. It's kind of an interesting thing in this room. I think if you really can establish center a little bit better, definitely use that nuke. Get yourself cleaned up. Start hosing down those doorways, but always interesting the timing on that. GoGo doing a pretty good job getting out there in a mid 120 or so. Johnny getting into the next room at a low 130 there. See how they clean up these shrapnel. GoGo just needs to kind of get the center established, getting a little bit of the swarmers getting into his area. Has 3 on the board, and unfortunately, there you go. The purple just kind of getting an angle on him as he tries to get back to center, loses that orb, and it has. And then now the shrapnel on the board. This is becoming an issue. Johnny is able to start clearing it up. Does get rockets, has 4 on the board, but clears them out immediately. This might be a nice little shift here for these two runners. Yeah, Johnny's all cleaned up with the swarmers. Now just taking care of the last ones here. Let's see this exit time. 2:14 for Johnny, 2:18 for GoGo. So a little bit of a shift. Now here we are into total carnage. Always a little tricky. You got a few of those shrapnel. They just start bursting almost immediately on Johnny's side. A little bit later for GoGo, I suppose. But always having to kind of take center and then be aware of where those guys are. If you're real crafty, you might be able to use that orb to shield yourself from them. But you always have to be aware with swarmers and all that. Razor Shield on GoGo's side. So without the orb, is able to do a decent amount of maintaining the center. Johnny, unfortunately, losing that center there. So this is going to be a Rocket's absolutely going to help both of our competitors orbless here, potentially going into the bonus room. That always makes tank trouble a little interesting. Oh, and as I say, GoGo is able to get a replacement. See if they could clear out the end of this room. Johnny doing actually pretty decently without the orb. Oh, GoGo is going to lose it right there. And the swirl is actually still out there. The center stayed up with a single other swirl piece. I usually don't see that. Usually you're able to hit the center by that point. But that was a very rare skinny swirl we saw. And we are in the bonus room at the same time. Some product placement. Taco Bell. Product placement with Taco Bell. And here we go into tank trouble. JohnnyLink with a little bit of a lead has the spreader to start out, gets another spreader there, is able to go left to right, gets across, unfortunately gunned down right there. That's unfortunate. Does get a Razor Shield to kind of replace. Maybe he's going to start taking center. Decides to go into the corner. Starts getting the gunners. Now to center. GoGo getting the rockets here. Rockets gonna help. Gets those two gunners. Gets the tank. Starting to get back to center. Very nicely done. Yeah, and more rockets. Here we go. This is exactly, if you don't have an orb, you kind of move a little bit freer without having to defend the orb. And if you're getting those rockets, you're looking real nice. Rockets on Johnny's side. Having to go to the corner to kind of establish, try to get that angle. Wants to try to get the center. It's a little tricky, though. Ooh, and then into the mine corner right there in that lower right. I've been there before. It's not a fun place. Orb on GoGo's side, able to kind of dance his way out. Oh, and it initially dodged a purple there very nicely, but it's gonna be Johnny out of the room first. GoGo not far behind. Oh, this is gonna come down to it, folks. What does Mutoid decide? We got a 506 on GoGoZombie side. So here we go. Lobbers after the rockets here. Gets one of the gunners. See if he gets a second. GoGo. Let's see what they get. Already has the rockets, so, and more rockets. Lobber's a little bit better of a weapon there, but Gunner's taken down on both. Nobody's dropped the form yet. Grenades will do a little bit of work here. Ooh, we got the spreader on GoGo's side. Gonna go for the manual because they were in overload. And then a spreader on the feet. Oh, if you just, that was a step away. You take the intentional death perhaps. Lobbers for both. Arm down. Second arm down for Johnny. Second arm about to go down for GoGo. Is down. Spreader. Oh, it's a beautiful spreader spot for Johnny. Doesn't realize it immediately. Goes for the manual. No, just getting the shots from up top. Not the full damage manual. Decides, I'm going to get that consistent damage. I'm not going to take a death right here. Both same form. It's coming down to it. Rockets, but unfortunately Johnny takes a death. Grenades on GoGo's side. Head pop for GoGo. Gets it done with the grenades. Spreader on Johnny's, but unfortunately, but gets it to the same form. How the weapon's going to shake down. This is very close. Lobbers a little bit better. Better weapon on Johnny's side. GoGo had rockets, but then gets lobbers. Johnny's going to take a death there, unfortunately. Lobbers, grenades. GoGo isn't able to get to the next form, though. No, the spread, that's in a great spot. Lobbers on both sides. Final form. Who lands the shots? This is crunch time. This is clutch right here. You gotta land these lobbers. You gotta be cool under pressure. This is not as easy as it looks. Mutoid's a jerk. Jiggles around. Grenade's gonna be on that side. And GoGo is gonna get it just barely, it looks like. Oh, yeah. by half a clip. Absolutely phenomenal race. A 7:30.76 for GoGoZombie there. Will take the match. JohnnyLink with a 7:36 or so on that.